Hey guys, Patrick here, and in my last video, I talked about how to throw a punch bare knuckle. So in this video, I'm going to give you the top 3 hand conditioning exercises to increase the toughness and durability of the bones and muscles in your hands. Why is this important? Well, because if you are ever without your gloves or hand wraps and you have to fight someone in a self-defense context, this will help to make sure that your injuries are less severe, especially in your hands, which if they were to break, you'd be out of training for quite a while. So to do that, we have to increase the density of both the bones and muscles of our hands, wrists, and forearms. Bones is obvious because the denser your bones are, the less likely they are to break. But muscle thickness in your hands, wrist, and forearms are equally important because your muscles are what hold the bones in place. They essentially act as like meat splits. So the thicker and stronger the muscles in the surrounding area of the bones are, the more likely they are to hold it stable in place and keep them from breaking. So with that said, guys, let's move on to our first exercise. All right, guys, so for our first exercise, we're going to focus on increasing the actual density of the bones of our knuckles. And how we are going to do that is through explosive knuckle push-ups. Now what you're going to want to do is get in a push-up position on your knuckles. Now a regular knuckle push-up is just where you come down and up. We are going to do a plyometric, meaning explosive knuckle push-up. So we're going to go like that. These are extremely important for helping develop the density of the bones that you're actually going to be using to punch someone with, because this will get you used to putting your whole body behind the impact when you actually make contact. Now, when you first start doing these, how you're going to want to progress them is you're going to want to start off by doing regular knee knuckle push-ups on a soft surface, all right? Just get them used to doing stuff like this. Then, explosive knee knuckle push-ups on a soft surface. Then you're going to transition into regular knuckle push-ups, explosive knuckle push-ups, and finally explosive knuckle push-ups on a hard surface. So that was exercise number 1. Let's move on to our next exercise. All right, that covered our bone density. So let's move on to the density of the muscles in our hands. Now what you're going to want here is one of these basic hand grippers. These are a really good tool for increasing the density and musculature of the muscles in your hands. Now the best way to use them is to grip them and then slowly squeeze in, hold for, I would recommend actually like 5 or 10 seconds, and then slowly release. That way you're getting a concentric contraction on the way in, an isometric squeeze and hold, and then the eccentric motion on the way out. So you're training your muscles in all 3 ways to really build up the density in your hands, which will really help protect the knuckles and bones as they go down and into your wrist. If you do not have a hand gripper or don't want to buy one, you can use a dumbbell instead and just let it roll out, come back, squeeze, roll out, come back, squeeze, does the exact same thing. And this way will allow you to actually load the weight in increments. Lastly, if you don't have a hand gripper or a weight of any kind, just use a rock. Literally just pick up a rock, hold it in your hand, squeeze it, and then let it just sit there for a second and squeeze it again. These are ways to develop the density of the muscles in your hands. Lastly, we are going to talk about how to increase the muscle density in your wrists and forearms to support your wrist as well as your forearm bones going all the way down. Simplest way to do this is with one of these, a plate-loaded wrist and forearm developer. Now how you use it is you simply have it all the way unraveled and you walk up the weight with your hands like this until the rope reaches the top, and then you get it all the way back down, and that's 1 rep. This is really good because it trains both the front and back of your forearm muscles. Again, if you don't have one of these devices, just take a dumbbell and do wrist curls. Pronated, and then supinated for the other side. I needed a lighter dumbbell for this one. Similarly, if you don't have dumbbells, you can just use rocks that you find on the ground. Well, there you go, guys. Those have been my top 3 exercises for how to condition your hands. Please let me know what you think about them down in the comments. I'm Patrick, and I'll see you next time.